Hello, good afternoon to you all. My name is Juliet Oma. I'm the Programs Assistant at African Pharmaceutical Network, and I would like to take this moment to welcome each and every one of you to this information session, where we are going to share knowledge on the Pharmacy Academy, the courses that we have, how they are structured, and to learn more even about our faculties and those who have already trained with us in previous times. I would like to apologize that we are a little bit behind time. Please pardon us. We wanted to give our colleagues more time also to join us, but seeing that the time is going and we are already at 3 people in attendance, we would like to continue from there. Then they will get us while we are continuing. So with that, I would like to give an overview of African Pharmaceutical Network, who we are, and the kind of work that we do. So APN is an African organization that was established in 2020 at the backdrop of COVID-19. And the purpose of APN was that we wanted to bring together professionals working within the pharmaceutical industry, stakeholders and organizations for the purpose of knowledge sharing, policy shaping, and innovation nurturing partnerships leading towards reliable access to quality, safe and effective health products and technologies in Africa. So why was APN established? As I have said, APN was established in the backdrop of COVID-19, that is in 2020. And this was out of the desire to address specific challenges that are within the industry and challenges that are also facing the healthcare sector that is in Africa. So some of these challenges for us included limited local manufacturing in Africa, which is attributed to the capacity shortfalls in the continent. There was also an issue of segregated and disjointed pharmaceutical systems, where you find that different, like let's say regulatory affairs professionals, supply chain professionals, those who are working within those sectors, they tend to work in silos. How many times is it that you'd find maybe a regulatory professional is aware of what is going on within the supply chain sector? Because we know that with the regulatory policies that are there, this can also hinder the access of medicines within a given continent. But if, as a supply chain professional, you are acquainted with regulatory policies, then it means you can be able to know which kinds of policies will actually hinder or help to distribute your medicines or your supplies in good time and with ease. Then the last thing was that there was a lack, we lacked a single platform or a common platform where stakeholders would convene together and share knowledge together, maybe even brainstorm and find solutions for the problems that are within the industry. So these are some of the reasons that APN was formed in 2020. So what is our mission as an organization? To ensure reliable access to safe, effective, and quality health products and technologies in Africa. And we are doing this through strategic investments, that is in pharmaceutical workforce development, business ecosystem support services, and policy shaping interventions. So when it comes to access to safe and effective medicines in Africa, some of the burdens that we have the issue of substandard and falsified medicines, and we know how critical this issue is on the ground. So for us as an organization is to ensure that African people don't fall prey to such kind of things, that we know we have established systems and ways of working in which when we bring products into the market, even if it is not 100%, then at least 99% that we know that the products that we have within our continent, they are safe. And we also have to have a workforce that is empowered, where you can be able to identify these products. If a product is substandard, you can be able to identify them. And then secondly, business ecosystem support services, where we give support to organizations where we find that maybe you would require HR services, you'd require LTR services. We get to provide you with these kinds of support based on the network that you have built. And then lastly, the policy shaping interventions. So what are our values as APN? We have humanity, integrity, professionalism, client value creation, and teamwork. Our journey, we started in 2020, where we were established as an organization. In 2021, we did our inauguration within the industry, where we got to identify industry partners, present ourselves, and just get to build the brand of APN. Then in 2022, we were able to sign up partnerships and agreements with different organizations. But for the purpose of this training, we have highlighted Empower School of Health, and we also initiated official registration processes with them as well. Empower is based in Switzerland, Geneva, Switzerland, that is. Then in 2023, we launched the Pharmacy Academy, and we had our first professional course, which was the Regulatory Affairs course. And we were also able to sign more partnerships in that year. These were through MOUs with IFPMA, H3D, Bloom Public Health. Then in 2024, we were able to roll out 2 new courses. That is the pharmacovigilance course and the supply chain course. And in 2025, we are looking forward to enrolling more courses and just getting to bring more value into the continent through the Pharmacy Academy, the business that we are doing, and also through policy shaping and advocacy work. So our services, we have the pharmaceutical workforce development, regulatory support services, business ecosystem support, and policy shaping, which I have already spoken about this. So our leadership team is constituted of an advisory board and a management team. And this is our advisory board, where we have a board chairperson and 2 board members, including John Paul Omolo. He works with Roche Diagnostics. And then we have Kirti Nasai. She works with the Chemonix International in South Africa. And then we also have Dr. Oliseyenam McDonald Nose. So we have Diambo, the organizer, Dr. Denish Maisiba, and Dr. Anush Patel, the Safety Lucy Machocho. You'll be able to meet her in a few minutes, myself, and
Juliet, it seems like we're losing you.
Thomas Ogola, our pass, and we are looking to add more to this. But yes?
It seems like we are losing you. There's a network issue on your end, I assume.
So
sorry about that. Let's
hello?
just, yes, we can hear you.
All right. So I'll just bring up my screen again.
Perfect. Thank you.
I hope you can see it.
Yes.
So for the information, thank you, Lucy. For the information session this afternoon, we will be learning more about the Pharmacy Academy and the courses that we are offering. And as I had highlighted, we have the regulatory affairs training, pharmacovigilance, and supply chain management training. And these are our courses. And with that, I would like to stop there so that we can have this Q&A session where you get to ask us questions regarding our trainings, what they are about, the benefits of training with APN, and any other questions that you would have. This is going to be the session that we are going to enlighten you and share more knowledge with regards to the Pharmacy Academy. So with that, I will hand over this session to Dr. Lucy Machocho. She will be helping me in this session. Welcome, Lucy.
Thanks, Juliet. Let me just bring my camera as well. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope you can hear me. We can just quickly kick off the Q&A. I guess there's a reason why you've joined us today. Probably there's something that you're curious about regarding our courses. Currently, as Juliet mentioned, we have 3 of them: regulatory affairs, pharmacovigilance and patient safety, and pharmaceutical supply chain management. So I'm happy to take on any questions that you may have. As you've noticed, the mic on your end is, you can be able to unmute and just ask your question. Alternatively, feel free to use the chat or Q&A section for any questions that you may have. So maybe just to do a quick overview of the courses. All the courses that we have running are $300, and the courses happen in a duration of 3 months. that is once a week. So for the regulatory affairs class, the classes happen on Wednesday from 7:30 to 9:30 p.m. East African time. For the pharmacovigilance course, it's on Thursdays evening, 7:30 to 9:30 p.m. East African time as well. And then supply chain usually happens on Saturday morning from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. East African time. All the classes are actually facilitated by professionals who are currently practicing in the field, because one of the issues that we noted, or rather the gaps that we noted, that prompted us to establish the Pharmacy Academy is that the pharmacy curricula does not really reflect market needs when you transition from school to employment. So then one of our aims is to try to bridge that gap between education and practice. And so one way to bridge that gap is to ensure that the people who are actually delivering the courses themselves are experts in the field and are in tune with what is happening in the market at the time. So all our facilitators or the trainers for the Pharmacy Academy are practicing professionals. They are experts in the field, and also they give a global perspective. Most of them work with multinationals, so they give a global perspective on the happenings in the field. Are there any questions? Please feel free. We are very few of us. Don't shy away. You can unmute, you can use the chat. I see Grace is typing. And I think, Juliet, could you please share the enrollment forms, just in case someone on the call is interested in one of our courses? All right, so are the courses online? How many days a week? Yes, all the courses are delivered virtually. We use Microsoft Teams, and they happen once a week for 12 weeks, because the courses themselves take place in 3 months, or rather they are 3 months long. So if for the regulatory affairs courses, they happen every Wednesday from 7:30 to 9:30 p.m. East African time. The pharmacovigilance course happens every Thursday from 7:30 to 9:30 p.m. East African time. And the supply chain course happens every Saturday morning from 9 to 11 a.m. I hope that answers the question, Grace. I can see Tom is typing. Anyone else? You can raise your hand, you can unmute on your end. We would be happy to hear your voice as well, just so it's not just us speaking, because this was a platform that was meant for you. And maybe you have some ideas on how we can serve you better as well. We are happy to hear them, because one thing that we want to do is to ensure that our courses are actually serving the needs of the people that are taking them. And so we are continuously looking to improve them. All right, so looks like, let me just wait for the question from Thomas. You can also let us know where you're joining us from. And let us know your name, area of practice, company if possible, and also share your LinkedIn. We'd love to connect with you after this. What form of assessment is used? Assignments, exam? That's a good question. So when it comes to assessments, every module has its own assessment, and the assessment, depending on the faculty who's actually facilitating that particular module, the assessment can be during the class. It can take place during the class. We usually use Menti or Jamboard to do the assessment for the module, or it can be in the form of a takeaway assignment. There are also group assignments that are given every 3, also depending on the faculty. They give away group assignments that you will do in groups and submit to the faculty for responses. Alternatively, the faculty can have you present during the class, because also one thing that we're also trying to build is a community of professionals that are actually equipped and all-rounded. So not just the technical skills, but also whenever there's opportunity for you to improve on your public speaking skills, we give you the platform through the case presentations that you worked with in your groups, and also how to do presentation skills. So you'll actually need to prepare a presentation that you will now use to do the case assignment, or rather to wrap up the case assignment that you'll present during the class. There are also term papers that we do, and the term paper usually is given by week 5. And then you will, depending also on what the faculty agreed per cohort. So for a particular cohort, they might do their term paper in groups or individually. So depending on what the faculty agree for that particular cohort, the term paper can be done in groups or in an individual basis. So the term paper, basically you're given a topic, you go research about it and write your thoughts and opinions, as well as give references to how you came to the conclusion. Like for the previous cohort for the regulatory affairs, some of the term papers they did was reflecting on how AMA can be able to benefit the pharmaceutical industry in Kenya, and also what challenges the learners thought would emerge with its operationalization. So also the term papers are also a way for you to actually keep up to date with what is happening in the market. I hope I've answered your question, Dr. S.A. You can just give me a thumbs up if possible. So, I am interested in array. Can I pursue it as a PV professional? Yes. Actually, the two fields usually go hand in hand. So array, or rather array principles can be applied to a PV expert to be able to ensure that medicines are actually safe, quality, and effective. And are more in the industry, RA professionals and PV professionals usually have, or rather they do sort of both. So you'll find that if someone is practicing in RA and also doing some PV related work, that the aspects actually, they sort of complement each other. So there are skills that you require when you're either practicing as RA or as PV. You can use both skills to be able to excel in your role. Are there discounts when you train for 2 courses? Yes, there are actually discounts when you train for 2 courses. So when you do the first course, you do it at $300, and by virtue that you've done the course at $300, you will be able to access the subsequent course at a membership fee, because as a student you also are considered a member by APN. And then are there recordings in case I miss a class? Yes, so all classes are recorded, and the recordings plus the slides that were used in that particular lecture are shared with the learners after the class. So you can have access to the materials even after you've completed the course and you're maybe 1 year into the practice and something you don't remember something quite clearly. You can always go back to either the recordings or the lecture notes themselves to refresh your memory. Please elaborate on the course structure again. Course structure. So the courses are 3 months long, with classes happening every week. So 1 class every week. So if it's RA, you will have a class every Wednesday. If it's PV, you'll have a class every Thursday. If it's supply chain, you'll have a class every Saturday. So it's only just that one class per week. And the modules are 12. So 12 modules. One of the modules is actually a guest lecture where we bring in an external facilitator. It's in the form of an industry discussion forum, or rather a webinar. So you'll be able to get attuned with what is happening in the market. It's more of just to ensure that our learners are actually up to date with what is happening in the field that they're training on. So that is how the course is structured. I don't know if I've left anything out. If anything is unclear, you can just let me know in the chat and I can maybe elaborate. And I think I can also allow Juliet to speak. I think I've spoken for quite some time. Juliet, if you're here, please feel free to take up the next questions.
Yes, Lucy, I am here. And thank you so much for taking us through. And thank you for answering the questions very well. If you have any other questions, please feel free to voice them or share in the chat or in the Q&A, and we will take them. You may have noticed in the chat I have shared the APN LinkedIn page. You can follow us on LinkedIn for timely updates on our activities and any events that we will be having in the year 2025. Additionally, I have shared the course registration links for pharmaceutical supply chain management training, cohort 1 2025 intake. You can actually click on the links and just get to find more details about the courses themselves. We have for supply chain, regulatory affairs, and the pharmacovigilance and patient safety training. So any other questions, you can just let us know and we will be able to answer them. So I got a question. It was saying, what is the level of education needed to enroll for the APN courses? What is the level of education needed to enroll for the APN courses? So the first requirement has to be that you have a background in pharmacy or any medical science field, that is, then you'll be able to enroll. And also to highlight this, students can also enroll for our courses, but only students who are in their final year or their second last year. When they are ready to graduate, that is, then they can be able to enroll for our courses, because we understand that by this time you definitely have an idea of where you'd want to work in within the industry. Therefore, would like to help you to be able to shape your career so that you don't get out there and just get to juggling and maybe trying different things before you can fully decide what you'd like to pursue. So even students can enroll. But the lowest requirement for you to train for our courses, you have to at least have a background in pharmacy or biological sciences. So it is not just for pharmacists. That is a question that we usually get most of the times, but it is not just for pharmacists. Something else that I would like to highlight: will you receive a certificate of completion after completing the program? You know, it's a wonder for many people if you'd get a certificate. Yes, you will receive your certificate at the end of the program in a digital copy. And this is, then you will have the hard copy. You will be able to get a hard copy maybe at the last event, that is usually at our networking events. But when it comes to the certificate, it is every program that we have, RA, PV, and supply chain, they are CPD accredited by Pharmacy and Poisons Board. That is the first thing. So you will get your points when you train with us. You will get at least 30 points for each and every training program that you are going to enroll for. And then the certificate is also internationally recognized because it is supported by FIP. So that is how our certificate is. And currently, if you would train for PV with us, there is something amazing when it comes to PV. And different countries, they require qualified persons for pharmacovigilance to actually have some training in pharmacovigilance. So when you get to train with us and you have this certificate, it is an added advantage for you when you are looking maybe to upskill or you are looking to go up the ranks when it comes to management or your employment, that is. So those are some of the questions that I had gotten regarding the certificate and the requirements to enroll for the regulatory affairs, PV and supply chain courses. So if you have any other question, please do let us know. I can't see any other questions on the chat. None in the Q&A box. I don't want to leave you out. So any other questions? There is something you'd like to know about our courses, this is the time. Right? Someone would like to become a member of APN. How would you go about it if you want to become a member of APN? So if you want to become a member of APN, anyone can become a member of APN because African Pharmaceutical Network is a Pan-African networking organization. So within the network, we have different skills that we have. We have those who are from the business side. We have some who are when it comes to human resources, but most of our networks are those who have actually practiced pharmacy or any courses that are in line with pharmacy, medicines, that kind of practice. So anyone can actually become a member of APN. So if you'd like to enroll and become a member of APN, you can click on the registration link that is provided in the chat. You can get to register there. When it comes to our membership packages, we have individual membership, we have student membership, and we have organizational membership. For individual membership, the costs for registration are $50. For student membership, it is $25. And then for institutional or organizational membership, it depends whether the organization is based in Africa or outside Africa. So for organizations based outside Africa, it is $2,000, but for organizations based in Africa, it is $1,000. So that is with regards to membership. Any other questions? All right. All right. Any other questions? Thank you, Yvonne, for joining us. Grace, Thomas, Ben, Adam, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon for this information session. And the purpose of it is just to be able to answer your questions where you are curious about our courses. Then we can be able to answer those questions and give you clarity so that you can be able to make an informed decision. All right. I am not seeing any other questions in the chat. I'll just give us a minute before we can end this session. So what next for you? You can become a member of APN. You can learn with us in our Pharmacy Academy, or you can partner with us in our projects, the projects that we usually have. So maybe there will be call outs and rollouts maybe during those moments, then you can get to partner with us on the projects that we have. But these are the offerings that we have for the moment that you can participate in when you come to work with APN. So you can become a member, you can learn with us, and you can partner on projects with us. So with that, Lucy, I would like to welcome you. If you have any final remarks, then you can close the session for us this afternoon. Thank you.
Thank you, Juliet. Amazing job answering the question, this particular question. I think from my end, I don't really have anything much to add. I just want to thank the audience for taking their time to be here. However few you are, I was really hoping that I could get to connect more with you, but unfortunately that's not possible. So I think I will just thank you all for joining us. I hope that what you've learned, or rather what you've gained here today, can enable you to make an informed decision regarding whether you will train with us or not. And also just to add that one of the reasons why One of the benefits of our members is that they'll actually gain access to communities of practice. And it's something that we are forming right now. So the communities of practice will just basically be places where you get to connect with fellow professionals in that particular field. So far, we have about 9 of them. And one thing that we aimed at doing is with the communities of practice is to provide career support to professionals. And the career support can be in the form of peer-to-peer learning, where you can share knowledge, you can share emerging issues, emerging intelligence in the respective fields, and also just be able to network and grow your network as well and see how you can derive value from the members that will be there, whether it's through one-on-one learning, mentorship, or group learning, whichever the case that is that you prefer. The communities of practice will enable you to do this. And I think with that, thank you so much all for being here. I really hope to see you in our next session. We'll be having one next week, I think same time, same place. And we hope to see you there. So have a lovely evening, everyone.